it's safe. It's just safe.
There's nothing daring about
There's
it.
nothing
Drake
daring
is the
because you
safest artist out
because
there.
you can't.
Facts.
He is because you
Facts.
can't stray from what works. Otherwise, you might lose a little bit of money, even if you have a bazillions of monies. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't lose the money.
Lil Yachty may have gone from zero to hero, and I'm gonna tell you why. Fam has grown up, I guess, or has come full circle.
He was a kid.
He was a kid, but now he is saying that hip hop is in a terrible place. The state of hip hop right now is at a lot of imitation. So there's a lot of imitation. We hear that all the time. We've heard OGs say that, but I didn't think a Lil Yachty would be a person that would pop out and say hip hop is in a terrible place. He says it's a lot less risk taking, a lot less originality. People are too safe now. Everyone is so safe. He said, I'd rather take a risk than take an L. Are you guys surprised to hear that coming from Lil Yachty?
No.
You're not? Why?
Mm-mm.
Hey, when you get to I don't care, whenever you get to reach a certain level of maturity, and maybe what you're, and not even about maturity, but sometimes when what you're doing isn't super popping, it's almost like you can step back
and take a look
and
at it.
Start looking at things.
So the lens changes.
The lens changes. You know, like when he first started we were aware of who he was like barely 19, 20. He was a teenager.
He was.
It's cold like Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when
Super young.
You know, when that song came out, and I thought he must have had the best representation in the world, because he took that song and all of a sudden he was in a Sprite commercial.
And he had his own pizza in Walmart.
Yeah. Then he had,
He was a he was a part of Nautica's design team, Target. Yeah.
But, you know, he can look back on that era and be like, look, y'all may not like what I did,
Right.
but what I did wasn't what everybody else was doing. And that's fine, because now you can look at it and be like, okay, this person is an imitation of this person, or we're just trying to drive. But we have always had that. There's like the people who work at these executive positions in record companies, whichever ones are still left, like they don't ever say, we're going to do something so crazy and so bold, we're going to change the world. No,
Right.
What they say is like, hey, you see how that worked over there? Let's do that. And we'll do our version of that, and hopefully it does maybe just a little bit better or close to it.
And we're going to do it over and over and over again.
Like everybody was at one point, everybody once Run DMC hit, and there was that, you know, people stopped wearing, dressing up like the Soul Sonic Force, and then everybody tried to do that.
What if I told you?
At one point, everybody wanted to flip samples, soul samples, when they heard what the blueprint was. Like, remember when Jay-Z said trying to make the blueprint 2 before Hov? There are a couple albums that are basically, hey, did you like the blueprint? Look what we got over here. And one of the albums I really like. Look, I'll just keep it real. AZ's Asiatic.
They came out what, a month later?
All I know is I listened to that. I was like, okay, I feel like these are beats that could have been on the blueprint too.
Asiatic was fire.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I liked it so much.
Yeah.
But at one point, when everybody at one point they had abandoned sampling, or at least such obvious sampling, then the blueprint 2 came out, and there was a change there. And you can look at almost any era of hip hop when people start wearing the gold medallions, the black medallions instead of gold, and switched on to wearing more dashikis and trying to be all earthy and looking like a Tribe Called Quest on that first album. They kind of switched up once they got to the second one. Yeah. You know, 'cause that first album, they was dressing really weird.
Boy, they was on their hobo.
Yeah.
100%. El Segundo.
Big old floppy hats and stuff.
But yeah, people always follow trends. Like, this has never been an industry when you talk about when people who are trying to hit certain metrics, they're not just in it for the creativity. It's always been an industry that is a copy and paste.
So, Terry,
because it's safe.
Yeah.
Terry, if I told you that Lil Yachty saying this is going to hit different, to that you say what? Or is this just another comment that'll be blown in the wind? I'm talking different from Exhibit saying it, or one of the OGs saying it, because that's going to be sold as, the old rappers are complaining again. You can't use that argument when Yachty says
no, because Yachty's 26 and the some of these rappers, 26.
That's what I'm saying. So does that hit different?
To whom?
That's what I was wondering.
Just,
to who
I'm just thinking the masses. I'm thinking
talking
the
about
only difference
people?
is that
I didn't want to
young.
say people. I didn't want to say people.
The only difference is that he's young, and he's peers with these people that he's talking about.
Right.
But I mean, it's because he's taking chances, and he may be feeling himself a little bit more now too, because I mean, he's done songs with J. Cole. Mm-hmm. He's helped Drake with his last album by being one of the producers in the room, or
he got praise from Questlove.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's feeling himself more from an artistic point of view versus just somebody that's new to the game and wants to make records.
just to have fun.
just to have fun and be youthful and fun with it. Now he's kind of on his Tyler the Creator, because when Tyler the Creator first came out, he was more so wanting to have fun and we here. You know what I'm saying? He evolved into the artist that he is today, and he talks the same thing pretty much about wanting to evolve and constantly get better. And he plays instruments and stuff for people that didn't even know.
Gotcha.
He does his own production too.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a matter of growth.
I'm just happy. Not that he's coming out and saying this. I'm just happy that he is growing. I feel like that's cool. It's cool. It's cool to see him grow as an artist and to make the attempt at his last project as he did. He wasn't safe with it. He tried something new. And I think he did a good job for what he was trying to do.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if it really hits,
quote unquote, hits different.
Hits different. I mean, it's just kind of like what Jay says. I mean, everybody just tries to do what works. Mm-hmm. It goes back to the capitalism argument. So.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's why art fueled in capitalism is not good, because it's safe. It's just safe.
There's nothing daring about
There's
it.
nothing daring
because the safest artist out
because
there.
You can't.
Facts.
He is because
Facts.
You can't stray from what works. Otherwise, you might lose a little bit of money. Even if you have bazillions of monies, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't lose the money.
Monies.
You can have all of them.
There's a lot.
If you lose a little bit of the monies, then
there's a lot at risk.
You want 9 bazillions, not 3.